Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Same bat time, same bat channel. Sandamtod here. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's supposed to snow today. Nothing major, I don't think. Over 3 inches is not happening. I think it's like 1 to 2 inches or something. But everybody and their freaking uncle and their uncle's dog and their long-lost relatives are out shopping for supplies like it's going to be a blizzard. It's just the way it is in Missouri. Every time there's a storm, everybody's like, oh, I got to get to the grocery store and buy 8 gallons of milk. You know, it's just crazy. So, of course, I went and joined in the madness. I do my grocery shopping on Saturday, though. It's not like I had a choice in the matter. But now that we're out from the grocery store, I'm driving and I don't know where to. I want to do something. I mean, as far as like going and look at it and see if I can't pick up some games. I thought about maybe going to Flea Mart over here. I still may. And I was thinking about maybe running out to this pawn shop in Raytown, because the last couple times I hit these two that are here in Independence, they just either prices were too high or they didn't have a good selection. And it seems like every time I go out to Raytown, I kind of find a gem. I wish I had some wood to knock on, because if I go out there now, I probably won't find anything. But yeah, I'm superstitious. A little bit, you know. It's one of those things that your parents kind of, you know, teach you when you're growing up. I don't know. Are any of you superstitious? I mean, I don't. I'm kind of one of those dudes about the broken mirror. The black cat thing doesn't bother me, but the broken mirror, knocking on wood. I don't usually. I'm not around a lot of ladders, so I can't walk under them really. But the throwing the salt over the shoulder thing and all that weird shit, I don't know. I'm mainly just a knocking on wood guy, and the broken mirror deal is kind of a deal that I'm like one of those, you know, 7 years bad luck or whatever the hell it is. Why are we talking about superstitions? Because I was going to knock on wood because I was going to go out to Raytown. I think I am going to go out to Raytown. I might come back and go by Flea Mart and then head home in that order. So I'm going to probably stop the camera for a minute, and we'll pick it back up over at the store, the pawn shop, and then we'll see what happens, see if we go to Flea Mart or whatever. If I find some good stuff at the pawn shop, I might not go to Flea Mart because I don't have a ton of cash. So I got about a 20 spot or maybe 25, you know, that I can spend. So we'll see you over there. I know you enjoy this. You can kind of see little flakes and shit falling if you look close. So anyway, we'll sign off for a minute. Dragging it out. Okay. Hey folks, Adam here, back again. Decided just to go to Flea Mart because I feel like I might have jinxed myself, speaking of superstitions, about going out there. And it'd be about a 15-mile round trip to drive out there and find nothing. So I figured I was already right here by this place, so we'd just go in and kind of browse around like we do and maybe find something, maybe not. So go in and check it out. This is always kind of fun just to browse for a little bit, even if you don't find anything, and we'll try to do a little bit of filming, and then we'll maybe find something. So we'll go ahead and check it out. All right, Flea Mart. It's like sports games and shit. $40 for a SNES Junior isn't too bad. I don't know if it looks like it comes with a controller anyway. Let's go hook up some. $6 for Superman or Sherlock Season 3. It's not bad. This guy's got quite a few comic books. Some action figures. Tomb Raider, I don't know what that is exactly. That thing's kind of cool. I don't know what they want for it. Put a candle in it. $9. If it was $5, I wouldn't think about it. Look at this. I don't even know how people. What do they expect? You know, nobody's gonna go through all that shit. And they're so worried because they got so much shit packed in there. They got caution tape up, like, don't knock all this shit over. Perilla Palancha Waffalura. I know I probably butchered that, but found a couple little goodies, not really any games. I mean, I saw games, but nothing that I really wanted. I saw one that I might pick up for $5. And it's nothing spectacular. Hey, some 8-tracks, alright. Disco Rocket, Best of Roy Clark, Jerry Reed, When You're Hot, You're Hot. Oh, Kenny Loggins, But Loose. Bunch of records, but you can't even get in there to look at them because they got all this shit crammed in there. People are idiots sometimes. I mean, as far as, let's rent a real small booth and then cram a total bunch of shit in there to where people can't even look through it. Anybody want any hot and spicy Vienna sausage? How about some Vienna smoked sausage? Chicken fryer. That's a huge ass Christmas tree stand. VHS tapes for $1. Shitload of Star Trek Next Generation on VHS. A wedding dress. Yeah, I'm gonna buy my wedding dress at the Flea Mart. Well, it's $2 for blank white DVD cases, $2 each. Try like 50 cents. Again, he's got a ton of them over here too. He wants $2 each for them. Or she. I guess it could be a woman. This guy's trying to sell Band-Aids and nasal strips. Must be a big business. That's kind of cool, that Metal Gear tapestry. What's he want for it? $4? That's not too bad. Actually. I don't know. I might think about that. What's this Gears of War thing? Looks like just a picture. I don't know. I can't tell. Yeah, it's just like a picture or something. This is just knick-knacky shit. Somebody's selling a bunch of pillows. Well, that's about it for in here, folks. My dude that sells like fart spray and knives and computer shit's right there, but he doesn't have anything in there. So, we'll sign off, and I'll show you what I got when I get home. So, left Flea Mart on the way home. It's only 4 o'clock and it's this freaking dark outside already. I think I'm going to run by this pawn shop here on Noland Road, because it's not too far out of the way on the way I'm going home. So, I mean, I can run by there and just check and see what they have, but I'm not going to make any special trip over to the other one or out to Raytown. So, folks, made it out of the pawn shop. Jesus. I don't know if you can read that, but it said Jesus. Made it out of the pawn shop. I picked up a game. It wasn't the game I initially was going to get there, but it's got a little bit of a story, so I'll just, when we get to the house, we'll do a recap, and I'll show you what I picked up. I'm actually kind of excited what I did end up getting at the pawn shop for the rigmarole. So anyway, I'll talk to you at the house, and we'll do it in the game room. 2 in a row. That's going to be kind of a record, a recent record anyway. So, hey folks, back in the game room. I figured before I got started I'd throw a laser disc in, since we bought some. This isn't one of the ones I bought, but I'm going to stick in old Total Recall. I've had this one for a little while. But Total Recall. Get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. Open says me. Let's put this sucker in. Oh, it's in a sleeve, which is good. Okay. Sorry, folks, for the crazy camera moves. Trying to get the laser disc out. The giant silver laser discs. I'm going to put it in. Side one. This is a cheap, not cheap, I mean relatively cheap comparison, because you can get some Laserdisc players for like $2,000 or $3,000 that have a bunch of different things built in, like DVD players, and will read both sides of the Laserdisc without flipping it and things like that. This is just kind of a run-of-the-mill laser disc. There's Tron. I never stuck Tron in to even see if it worked, but I'm going to hit play here and see what generates. Come on, blue screen. I love that load up time. What I really love is the sleeve artwork and stuff. As you can see, I don't know if you can really tell, but the quality on it is probably a little bit better than VHS, but in no way is it even DVD quality. But it's the first format where they really started cranking out widescreen format. And so it's pretty cool. You know, it's one of the first. I remember late in the VHS's life, they started putting out videotapes that were in widescreen format. I think I have a Phantom Menace box set that was widescreen. But basically, it's just a movie. Some of them do have commentary and stuff, which I was kind of surprised because I never even knew back in the day that they did commentary and stuff for them. So, Total Recall, we'll let it run in the background while we're doing the vid. Sorry, folks. Alrighty. So, how we doing? Back in the room, made it home. Let's get this camera set down here and wipe the big ass smudge off that's on the lens. I just wiped you all clean. There we go. Get a little light on the subject here. The subject being me. I don't know if I'm crazy here with the beard. I'll try to slick it down for a second. Sometimes it gets a little wily. Go on. Go on. Cat wants to be right in the middle of everything. Alright, this is a super huge Laserdisc controller. This is my TV remote comparatively. But, and it's dusty as shit because I haven't even used it in a while. Alright, you can't even shut it says like power or something on there, but it doesn't shut off the system. I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, time to start this video. Alright, so we went to Flea Mart. I didn't end up going to the Raytown pawn shop I was going to, but it just seemed like I jinxed myself. I know we talked about superstition, so I decided to go to the Flea Mart instead. I found a few things. Nothing super duper spectacular. I ended up spending, you know, I like to stare down while I do the video. Ended up spending $15.08 total. So we're gonna show you what we picked up. First off, I was walking around. I went over to they have some 360 games as well as some like Xbox One and PS3 stuff that was reasonably priced. This is like $7 a game or something, but and it wasn't just sports stuff, but it was games that I either already had or I'm not interested in. They had Left 4 Dead and Rock of the Dead, which I do want Rock of the Dead, but I don't have a this gen, or pardon me, we're not on this gen anymore because I'm still on the 360 generation. I don't have a guitar for that generation. The PS3 was what the game was for. So anyway, I don't know how loud this is going to be. I'll try to talk over it. I think it's loud for me because the surround sound is coming in. But where was I? Bullshitting you, I guess. Oh, I looked at their movies and stuff. This is stuff that the Flea Mart buys in and has itself and then resells. It's not necessarily the sellers themselves. So I was looking through their games. I found one game, and I had wanted this game for a while. I don't know how great it is, but the sister game to it, I had played back in the day when the movies were still new and coming out at the theater, and they released a game kind of between the second and third movie that kind of interlinked the two, and that is the game Enter the Matrix. So the sister game to it that I went in and picked up tonight, you may know, is the game Path of Neo. I wanted to get this for a while. I don't know how great it is. I really enjoyed playing the other game, but I really enjoyed the Matrix. All the movies. I had the Animatrix as well as the game there, Enter the Matrix, but I never picked up Path of Neo, and it's made by the Atari as well as the other one was, so I can already guess that the playstyle is very similar to the Enter the Matrix game, so that's cool. But it was $5. I don't know if you can see the price sticker on there. It's $5. It says over 600 martial arts style fighting moves, battle hundreds of Agent Smiths, never before seen characters and settings. Relive the best of the Matrix trilogy. File footage recut by the Wachowskis shapes the storyline. Play an all new ending written and directed by the Wachowski brothers. The Matrix Path of Neo does things on PS2 previously thought impossible. So I don't know why I hesitated on PS2. For some reason, I thought it was a newer gen game for some reason when I was talking. It had the instructions, and the instructions are pretty crispy. They're not really worked over or anything. And the game itself looked nice. It needs to be wiped off, but it should run. It looks a little scuffy. I might do a resurface on it. I have one of those home resurfacer deals. If it's not working, I might do that. So, enter the Matrix. That was $5 of the $15 that I spent there at the Flea Mart. Excuse me, I had to wet my whistle. So anyway, I don't know how that camera, if it's picking up. Last time it seemed like it was real tight in on my face, like I was leaning into it or something. So, that's beside the point. Anyway, I saw this for $2. I don't know, I picked it up because I have some little knick-knacky kind of figurines. I have like a little Buddha and a little Crush the Turtle from Finding Nemo figurine at work, and I saw this for $2, and I'm not going to leave it in the package. I went and picked it up. It's a Justice League Batman figurine. They have a Joker one on the back that looks pretty cool too, but this guy had the Superman one. You can see on the back, I don't know, I'm not going to get too close. It seems like I always put stuff too close and then it gets out of focus, but they had the Superman one, the Batman one, where he's crouching, which is the one that I got, and then it looked like there was a... I forget. There's one other one there. I think it looked like General Zod from the Man of Steel movie, though. But it's kind of cool. It's a little figure. I might even take it out of the package here while we're sitting here bullshitting about it. I'm just going to cut the plastic instead of tearing the card. Let's see here. I am excited to tell you about the pawn shop thing. I got a pretty cool, and then I ripped it anyway, so nice job there, Adam. I was going to cut it along the side, and then I ended up ripping it off there anyway. Doesn't really matter. I was just going to keep the card for the back figure so I could maybe see about picking up that Joker figure someday, but... it's kind of cool, little figurine, Batman figurine for $2. It's about the size of the figurines that I like. I figured I'd take it to work and put it in front of my workstation while I'm working. So, Batman, that'll go with my bat hat that I was wearing earlier. So that was $2. So that's $7. And then I picked up a few laser discs. Speaking of laser discs, let's check back on the movie. It's still working pretty good. Looks good, widescreen, laser disc quality, so it's not bad. Sounds pretty good. And there's Arnold. Total Recall. This remake was alright, but it wasn't the same story. And I just really like the guy that directed, I forget his name offhand, the guy that directed Total Recall, because he also directed RoboCop, Starship Troopers. He's known for his ultra violent movies that they're violent, but they're also it's almost funny how violent they are. So I forget his name. Well, I could tell you. Hold on. Paul Verhoeven, that's it. So anyway, we did not pick up any Paul Verhoeven movies. These were each $1, these laser discs, and I've seen laser discs at the thrift store go for like $5 to $7. And my normal guy that I looked through his laser discs, he had a few, and I, didn't really see. I saw one that I wanted, and it's one of these three that I picked up. But the guy, when he was ringing them up, it says it was $2, but he rang it up for $1. And, I wasn't going to argue with the guy. I can use a discount now and again, so it wasn't a big deal to me. It might be a big deal to the guy that that lost $1, but, what am I going to do? Anyway, the one I picked up for the $2 price was the movie The Usual Suspects. Anyway, The Usual Suspects is pretty cool. It's got a nice big front. This actually has commentary on it with Bryan Singer, which I thought was kind of cool. And I like the artwork on the back. It looks nice, and the disc looked good, and it's in a sleeve. Let's pull it out. The disc looked shiny and new. No scratching on it. The thing about laser discs is they're heavy, and when you start getting a collection of them, if you have them, like I have them on top of my DVD shelf out there, and the shelf's starting to freaking bow slightly because they're so heavy. But you're not supposed to stack them like this because it can cause compression on them. So you're supposed to always stand them up like this. So it gets kind of tricky when you got a bunch of them because they start wanting to. And even if you put like bookends or something, the sheer weight of all of them will cause it to start tipping over. So this one I went ahead and picked up for $1. I didn't notice that kid or somebody had written their name on the front of it. Maybe I can get that off with marker, or it is marker. Maybe I can get it off, but I don't want to scrub it too much and scrub off part of the cover. So anyway, it was $1, and that is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Now this one looks like it's been well watched. The edges are kind of worn. This edge is really worn here. And it's worn down, but it's not abused. It's just worn because it's been watched a lot. This one actually has 2 discs. I'll open it up and show you the inside of the artwork, and hopefully not slide the disc out the side. This was the inside artwork. That's what I love, This is the type of shit that you're losing nowadays with the new media and stuff, and everything's eventually going to go to download. So you're not going to get cool-ass packaging like this anymore. And, here's the back, and it's a little bit worn. But like I said, it's just because it looks like the guy really enjoyed this movie and watched it quite a bit. Needs to be wiped off, but the disc itself is not in bad shape. It does need to be wiped off. This disc does not have a sleeve. I think I have a couple extra sleeves, and I know you can buy sleeves at vintage stock, so I might have to buy a couple sleeves. It's got a sleeve on the second disc, so I'll just have to look and see if I got an extra sleeve out there. So well worn, but the artwork itself on the inside, when I opened this up and saw that inside part, I was like, I gotta get this for $1. I mean, it just looked too cool. And then I saw the kid's name on it when he was ringing it up, but I was like, it says Bill T or something, or Billy, and I was like, well. Last Crusade. I was never a big Temple of Doom fan. I liked Last Crusade, but Raiders was always the best one. I never saw Crystal Skull. I even have a copy of it that I could watch. I just haven't, because I heard mixed things, and I really don't care for Shia LaBeouf that much. Get off of him. Cat wants to sit and lay on the DVDs. And the final one I picked up for $1 is also a 2-disc one. Rob Reiner movie, a great movie, and that is A Few Good Men. Now, I have A Few Good Men on DVD, but I decided to go ahead and pick it up for $1. It's got this beautiful kind of inside thing, just like the Indiana Jones had. It shows all the stars and their names right there. I thought that was pretty sweet. And let's see. The discs are in this sleeve to the side. Ooh, they're in paper sleeves. So we have the 2 discs. And like I said, I really don't... Excuse me, I'm like wiping little boogers off and licking my finger and wiping them off. I don't really watch my Laserdisc that much. It's mainly for the packaging and stuff. And for $1, I'm cool with that. You know, if I'm going to watch it, it's easier to just look through my movies that I have on my computer or find the DVD, because it gets a little annoying to have to flip the disc every 30 or 45 minutes. That's about how long. I think if they're not in the what they considered the higher definition format, they could fit about an hour of a movie on one side of a disc. So, and that might actually be the case, because I don't remember how long this movie is. I'm looking to try to see if it says 138 minutes. So yeah, it's 2 hours and 18 minutes. So yeah, it's on 3 sides. So that makes sense. About an hour per side. But this back in the day was really kind of the only way you could really get the widescreen formats and stuff for a long time, until probably about I don't know, let me scratch my back for a second, 95 or 96, it seemed like around then they started putting out a few VHS, but VHS was dying. I think I had my I don't know, I don't remember when I bought my first DVD player, but I remember that it was crazy expensive, and I was one of the first people to own one that I knew. I think it was like $275 or something for the DVD player, and it was I think it was it was a single disc. It wasn't even, I was going to say 3 disc, but it wasn't even that. It was a single disc DVD player. And then about 4 years later or so, I bought the one that I have over here, which is a 5-disc DVD player that I've had ever since, and it only ran me about, I don't know, like 130, I think. So, and I always I always wanted one that you could do multiple discs. I always thought they should do them like they did those huge CD ones, where they'd have like a 50 carousel in there, and then I always thought that would be the way to do a DVD player, would be just to be able to put all 50 of the DVDs in, and just, you know, be able to skip back, you know, between them. So anyway, we picked that up. I don't know if I showed the back. There wasn't much to the back, but the front. You can't handle the truth. So anyway, we got 2 more things. One of them you kind of saw there, and I went ahead and picked it up. It was $4, and it was that wall hanging for Metal Gear that the guy had. It was $4, and normally these wall hangings at Vintage Stock go for about 15 or 16. So for $4, I couldn't pass it up. Right now, I don't have my Sonic the Hedgehog one hung up, but I still have the Metroid one there, and then I have the Mario one there, and then out in the living room, I have the other Metal Gear Sons of Liberty one, and Legend of Zelda one. So I had 5 wall hangings before this, but I went and bought this one. I think I'm gonna hang this one up in the living room with the other Metal Gear one, and then we'll hang the Link one maybe in the hallway or something. But this was it. It's kind of hard to probably get a good shot of it, so I'll stand up and hold it back, but it kind of looks like Metal Gear Solid 3, maybe. I'm not sure which Metal Gear, but it's got kind of the Solid Snake eyes at the top there, and then he's at the bottom, and some troops are kind of coming up on the side, and he's hiding behind this tree.
So I thought it was pretty cool. $4. And like I said, those normally go for about 15. So I thought it was a good purchase. So I'm rolling it back. Sorry. I'm real weird about trying to put stuff back the way it was before I move on. So, okay, so now we're to the pawn shop. The total on that was $15. I told you I had about $25 to spend. So I go into the pawn shop, and I didn't take the camera in, and I'm looking, and most of their shit is just marked like crazy prices. I mean, almost either as high as vintage stock or higher, you know, for games. It's like they had Mario Kart, and I loaned my sister my Mario Kart game for the kids and stuff, and the only games that they have are Wii Sports and a Tetris game that I bought her a long time ago, and that was it. But the kids wanted had come over and we played Mario Kart over here, and I loaned it to them, and I was going to go ahead and pick them one up, and I saw they had Mario Kart there, and I looked at it, and they wanted $30 for a used copy of Mario Kart, and it looked beat up. I mean, the case did, and I was just like, no, because I think I bought my Mario Kart copy at that same pawn shop, and I think it was like 16 or something, so I don't know why it's suddenly 30, but I started looking through their stuff. Stuff was like really expensive. You know, I'm saying relative. I'm talking like Game of the Year. Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition was like, you know, $14.99, and I, you know, I looked at a couple other things, like they had like Doom 3 BFG edition or something, and it was like 20, you know, and then a couple other games were like 30, and then the game I ended up picking up was Dead Rising 2. And I have Dead Rising 1 on the 360, but this was for the PlayStation 3. But it was $10.99, and I was like, well, that's cool. And I go up there, and they're busy, and it also seems like, for some reason, that the people are taking their sweet-ass time serving people or getting people through the line. But, you know, I'm like, whatever, because it was like 4 o'clock and they close at 5, so I could tell everybody was like on their last hour of the day and not really giving a shit. And I wait in line probably like 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, I was getting to the point where I was like, do I really want this game that bad for, you know, to wait? You know, I was finally like, all right. And the guy in front of me finally finished and moved, and then the guy like walked off and was like putting up receipts and doing things, and like another 4 or 5 minutes goes by, and then he comes back to the counter and he's like, I can help whoever's next. So I go up to the counter and I give him the Dead Rising, and I'm like, I just want to buy this, and he's like, all right, and he looks at it and it's $10.99, and he goes ahead and rings me up, and I give him cash. I happen to have $13 on me because I had to get a new battery for my car. And you have to pay like this core charge. Well, I didn't have my old battery with me because it was in the car. So I changed out the battery, took the battery back to the place, and got the money back. And it was like $13 and something for the bringing my old battery back in. And so I had $13 on me. So I was like, well, I'll buy this game with the cash I have on me instead of using my card. And so I get up there, give the guy the cash, he rings me up, and then he goes, you know, I'll be back in a minute, because they keep the games in little sleeves and like a book or a little thing in the back. And for one thing, I thought it was a little bit odd. I think the guy was one of the managers, though. I mean, he seemed like he had authority, or that he was telling other people what to do. But when I went in there in the past and bought games, they've always went back and looked to see if they had the game before they rang me up. And you know, I've even had them come back and say, well, we didn't have this, you know, or whatever. But the guy I'd already paid, got my receipt back. He went back there. I saw like a few, you know, maybe a minute goes by. I can see where he's at, kind of in the back room, because you can see through these like full, you know, doors, and he's looking through things, and he pulls the game out and snaps it in there, and he starts walking out of the back room, and then he looks down at the case, and is like, he looks at it, and then he flips it over and looks at the front, and he's like, evidently it wasn't the right game. So he goes back, and he's in there for like 4 or 5 minutes. I'm standing at the counter. I'd already paid. I'm just waiting for him to bring the game back. And he finally walks out and says, "We don't have this game." And I'm like, he goes, "Can you find another one?" And I said, "Well, not for that price," because it was like the cheapest game they had there. And the other ones that I had looked at, were like, $20 at least. And the guy was like, just go pick one out and bring it back, and it doesn't matter what the price is. And I was like, okay, well, we'll test this theory. So I went over there, and I looked through the games, and I saw a game that I had really been wanting for a while and put off, and it's fairly recent, but it's still new enough that it's going for like good money. And they had it marked for $50, and I had paid $10.99, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take it up there and see if the guy will just give it to me. Anyway, and I brought it up there, and the guy's like, he's like, yeah, we have that one. I saw it back there, and he took the case back and snapped the game in and brought it back, and he goes, here you go, and he goes, was this one more expensive? And I go, yeah, a little bit. And he goes, that's all right. So I was like, no way. So I got this game. They had it marked for $50. I don't know what it goes at vintage stock for, but I was excited to get it because this is a game I'd been wanting and I had put off getting because of the price, and it still was pricey. So I think even at that sale that they had at vintage stock where I picked up a buy two get one, I looked at this game and it was still like $40 or $50 used there. So without hemming and hawing anymore, the game I picked up for the PS3 for $10.99, believe it or not, even though they had it marked for $50, is Watch Dogs for the PS3. This says, hacking is your weapon. Over 100 hacks to turn Chicago into your ultimate weapon. And then it says, play as Aiden Pierce, a brilliant hacker, blah, 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 blah. But it says that there's a PS3 exclusive 60 minutes of exclusive gameplay on it. So, I was kind of excited. Like I said, $50. I'm assuming that the instruction book is on the disc, because that just seems like the way they're doing everything nowadays. And they put like this exclusive gameplay code in here. So I don't know if that code's still good. So, I don't really care that much, because I got the base game it ended up being, where's the receipt? There's the receipt. I don't know if you can see. It ended up being $11.84 with tax. It just says premium video game cartridge on there. But the guy was like, whatever, just go pick something else out. Now, if he hadn't rang me up first, I guarantee you I wouldn't have got this. Because he would have just said, sorry, we don't have it. And I would have been like, oh, well, I guess I'm not getting anything then. And I would have left. So I was trying to peel the GameStop sticker off the back of it. But anyway, this is what we picked up. All told, like I said, $11. That was $15.08 and $12. So roughly $27 is what we spent, I think, which is more than I really wanted to spend. But I've gotten to the point where I'm tired of not being able to go out and hunt for video games and stuff, because I'm worried about spending $5 or $10. And money has been a little bit tight, but I got some things taken care of, and I think it's going to be okay. But Christmas is coming up and stuff, so I doubt I'm going to be doing a lot of buying for myself in the near future. But I was happy to pick this stuff up. So anyway, the cat wants me to quit the video and pet her and play with her, so I guess we'll be going, won't we? We're going to go. We're going to sign off. You going to sign off? You going to do peace out? Peace out. Whoa! Go on. All right. We'll talk to you later, folks. Peace out.